When selling your business, you need to be ready for the dreaded double D, due diligence. Now, this is the process where the buyers go through and verify that everything you said during the sales process is true. Now, this process is not a lot of fun for either side. They're gonna ask for records, they're gonna ask questions about those records, their bankers are gonna ask questions, and you're probably gonna answer the same question multiple times. They're going to question your business practices, how you do things, but it's really important to kind of keep your cool, answer the questions, answer them politely, no matter how many times it's been asked before. I run into this all the time where a seller gets asked a question that they've already answered and the response is, I already answered that. Well, that's not helpful, right? The person is asking a question because they don't know the answer. Now, maybe they should know the answer because you already gave it to them, but at the end of the day, they don't know the answer to the question. That's why they're asking it. So you can give it in a different way, or if you sent it an email before, just resend the email that you had sent prior. But always give an answer, never answer with, I already told you. Now, during this process, virtually nothing is off limits. The buyer can ask you questions about anything and everything, and you should expect to answer it. You can hold off on highly sensitive information till the very end if need be, things like customer lists or things that are very highly proprietary that you want to make sure you don't put out into the world in case the deal falls through. You might want to hold some of that information back until you get a commitment letter from the actual lender or until the actual purchase agreement signed, just so that you have one more layer of security that the deal is actually going to happen. But you're going to have to expect to eventually, you're going to have to tell that buyer anything and everything that they ask. But that doesn't mean you can't censor some info. You know, they don't care what the customer's name is. So if you want to censor out customers' names on a customer list and they just show numbers and amounts, you know, that can be fine. Basically, just answer questions quickly, politely, keep the deal moving forward. I've seen sellers add a lot of time to a transaction, months, because they were slow to respond. So you're going to have to expect to spend some time responding to these questions during the sale process. Now, your advisors, it's going to be somewhat their job to try to answer some of the basic questions, but in a lot of instances, you are making a representation of the business, so it should come from you directly. You want to make sure you don't have an advisor that's making up answers or giving things that might not be fully true that could turn out to create a lawsuit after the transaction if they said something that wasn't true. Now, it's not uncommon for due diligence to take up to 6 months. I think a lot of offers you'll see from buyers might say that they'll close in 2 or 3 months. You should expect it to take 6. There's going to be unexpected delays. You should expect unexpected delays. And ultimately, the bank really controls the timeline. Your buyer's likely going to be borrowing funds from a bank, so the bank is going to drive the timeline. Your buyer's not going to have a lot of control over the bank. You just want to make sure that you do your side, that you answer things quickly and fully, that your attorney isn't going to milk the hours and drag out the deal. We see a lot of times where attorneys add an extra month to the deal for, you know, no good reason. They're just kind of dragging things along. Best advice I can really give is just go with the flow. Things are going to happen. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Just kind of roll with it and at least know that everyone on the team is all working for the same shared goal. You want to sell the business. The buyer wants to buy the business. Your advisors also want to get the transaction closed. The bank wants to get the deal closed. Everyone's working towards the same goal. So drop your questions in the comments. If you're ready to sell your business or get your business ready for sale, shoot us a message and we can help.